In this video drum lesson, we're going to take a look at the intro drum solo from the song A Song for the Dead by Queens of the Stone Age, drummed by the living genius Dave Grohl, of course. And before we get into the main part of the lesson, I just want to quickly explain something to you, just in case I get any comments from YouTube or website viewers. There's actually quarter notes being pounded out by Dave's hi-hat foot throughout this solo. You can hear it throughout. I had the option of trying to replicate that. And there's several reasons why I didn't. The first and the main reason being that I actually played the wrong way around. So on this standard kit, this is set up for a standard right-handed player, my feet are the wrong way around on it. Now, thanks to teaching over the years, I've managed to teach myself to play the correct way around as well. But for something as complicated foot-wise as this solo, it was just too much for me to be able to swap my feet over. I tried a few times and just couldn't do it. So rather than just play it sloppily, I thought I'd use the metronome instead to represent the hi-hat foot and play with my natural foot so I can give you a really tight performance instead. When you're learning this piece, you can obviously include the quarter notes and the hi-hat if you like, or you can do what I do and leave them out when you're playing on a kit that you're not comfortable with, or in my case, because your feet are the wrong way around. The other reason that I left it out was because it makes it far, far easier to teach in this short YouTube video here, rather than also explain what the hi-hat foot is doing in relation to the rest of the notes. Just leave it out, and it's just far, far quicker for me to teach it to you plainly. And then if you're advanced enough, you can add the hi-hat foot in later. But there's my excuses out of the way. On with the video. Okay, so I'm now going to take you through the drum solo bar by bar, nice and slow. From the beginning of the song, you've got the guitar and Dave's foot tapping away, playing quarter notes. And it's approximately 8 bars before Dave plays his first note. And I've notated on the music that note, which happens to be floor tom and bass drum coming down together, falls on beat 1. So the first note Dave plays is beat 1 of the notation, floor tom and bass drum together. And I'm going to be using my left bass drum foot for this, just because it's my more comfortable foot. So don't get thrown off by that. This is my bass drum foot here for this video. We've then got a flam on beat 4 of the first bar on the snare drum. And the flam is just simply 2 notes played slightly separated from each other, as close to each other as possible, but not quite at the same time. And I like to play left-hand flams. So a left-hand flam is right hand comes down first quietly, left hand comes down second loudly. Like that. So the stick height is low for the right hand and quite high for the left hand. And that's on beat 4, followed by a bass drum on the and of 4, so we get 4 ands. So that first bar, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 ands. By the way, any notes that fall on the ands are going to be falling in between Dave's hi-hat foot. Dave's hi-hat foot is playing quarter notes on beats 1, 2, 3 and 4 of the bar, so the ands are going to be falling in between. Or any ands are going to be falling in between the metronome click that you heard at the beginning of this video as I demonstrated it for you. So any ands fall in between the beat. So on to bar 2 now, we've got a bass drum on the and of 1, so beat 1 is missed out. And then we have a flam on the snare drum on beat 2 and on beat 3. So 1 and 2 and 3, followed by a bass drum on the and of 3, and then another bass drum on the and of 1, the and of 4. So bar 2 is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 ands. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 ands, followed by the floor tom and the high tom played together on beat 1 of the next bar, bar 3. 1, like that. So you can slightly separate them, but Dave doesn't really. He plays them flat. They're kind of flammy sounding, but then they're not quite flams. They're more flat than flams. The snare drum parts are definitely flams, but when you move to the toms like this, it tends to be flatter. So that's why I've played it flatter, both at the same time as each other, basically. Floor tom and high tom, like that. That's on beat 1 of bar 3. The rest of that bar is rested, nothing else happens. Onto bar 4, and we've got our first triplet pattern. And the triplet falls on the and of beat 4, right at the end of the bar. And we've got 4 notes in a row, starting on the snare drum, and we're going to play right, left, right, bass drum foot. They're the 4 notes, right, left, right, foot. And it's snare drum, high tom, floor tom, bass drum. Now importantly, the bass drum falls on beat 1 of the next bar. So we start on the and of 4 of the previous bar, and that's where beat 1 is. So we get and 1, and 1. If I count myself in a little bit, 3 and 4 and 1, 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 3 and 4 and 1. It's a classic drum lick. I like to call it the fuddle-a-dump because that's what it sounds like. Fuddle-a-dump, fuddle-a-dump. Classic rock and roll ending. I hear it in loads and loads of different songs, and many drummers have used it, and Dave is no exception. I call him Dave now. So the triplet starts on the and of 4, and it's and 1. And that triplet pattern gets used again at the ends of bar 1 of line 2 of the notation. So we get another and 1, and then one more yet again at the end of the next bar. So we're on to bar 2 of line 2, and 1. But this time we have another bass drum on the and of 1, so we get and 1 and, followed by 3 more bass drum notes and on the ands. So the and of 2, the and of 3, the and of 4. So bar 3 of line 2 is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 ands. Bar 4 now, snare drum on 1, bass drum on and then another 3 ands. And of 2, and of 3, and of 4. So bar 4 is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 ands. That's right. So let me play, before we move on, line 1 slowly, and then line 2 slowly as well. So here's line 1. I count myself in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, and 1. Excuse me. How very unprofessional. I'm just coming over a cold, as you might be able to hear from my nose. I'm all blocked up. So, let me try that a bit faster now before I go on to line 2, because at that speed it's very hard to hear the rhythm. Let me try a bit faster, perhaps without counting. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so notice how that diddle-dum starts on the end of 4. Line 2, slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. And. A bit faster now. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. And. So on to line 3 now, and we have a bass drum on beat 1, and from the previous bar we had a bass drum on the and of 4. So when we play those 2 bars together, we actually get and 1. The bass drum on the and of 4 previous, and the bass drum on beat 1 of bar 1 of line 3, and 1. By the way, if you're having difficulty in following all this, I highly recommend that you visit the web page on my website where the notation for this is. It's far easier if you can be reading along to the notation as I explain it to you, rather than try to work it out from what I'm saying. It's far easier to be seeing something in front of you. So visit the web page if you're finding this difficult to follow. So bass drum on beat 1, nothing else is played for that bar. Nothing else is played for bar 2. And bar 3 we have the beginning of this sequence of flams and bass drums and tom-tom notes which move across the bar, across the beat, purposely shifting the listener's ears, making it sound quirky and quite tricky to follow. But that's the idea. It's offbeat, it's quirky. It's Dave Grohl. So on beat 1 of bar 3 we have, and I'll tell you what I'll do. The best way to explain this is to count out loud slowly, and all you got to understand is that the hands are either playing a flam on the snare drum or the floor tom and high tom together at the same time. So that's all the hands are doing, either a flam or a floor tom and high tom, and of course the bass drums could be going on in between. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and again. 1 and 2 and 3 and Bar 4, nothing's played on beat 1, so he's keeping off the offbeat, keeping off the downbeat, sorry. Bass drum on the, well, I'll play it for you, here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So notice there's 4 bass drums in that bar, all on the ands, and of 1, 2, 3 and 4. Onto line 4 now. Bar 1, again we have all the bass drums on the ands, and of 1, 2, 3 and 4, and that bar sounds like this. Nothing on beat 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. One more time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Bar 2, we have again all the bass drums on the ands, so really playing the upbeat. Nothing on beat 1. And we have this double snare drum on beat 2 and 3. Well, 2 snare drum flam notes on beat 2 and on beat 3. It sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Bar 3, same idea again, but starts on beat 1. So 2 flams, 1 on 1, 1 on 2, like this. And again, all the bass drums on the ands. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and flam on 4 as well. Again, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and like that. Then we have this awesome, super cool fiddler dump again, but starting on the and of beat 1, leading into a flam. So it's on the and of beat 1 we get the fiddler dump and 1, followed by another bass drum on the and of 2, sorry, so it's and 2, not 1, and 2, followed by another bass drum on the and of 2, and then a flam of 3. So we get 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3. Just sounds awesome, doesn't it? So before I move on, let me go through that 5-6 bar sequence again, because it's quite tricky to follow. Let me play the whole 6 bar sequence slowly. So starting on bar 3 of line 3. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. So there's the whole sequence played nice and slowly for you. Now we'll move on to line 5. Bar 5 is empty, nothing's happening in it. And then, sorry, line 5, bar 1, God dear, the bar is empty, nothing's happening. We're on the last line of the notation now. Bar 2, beat 1 is rested, nothing's played on beat 1, and the first flurry of snare drum notes occurs on beat 2. And it's just simply 2E and, right, left, right. The thing is, it's really fast. So it sounds amazingly complicated, but it's just 3 notes in a row, right, left, right, 2E ands. Beat 3 is rested, and then we have 2 more notes, 4 ands. I play them right, left, 4 and. So that bar, 1 and 2E and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2E and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2E and 3 and 4 and 1 and. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. That's what it sounds like when it's up to speed. Now, the last line of the notation is interesting, and this is what most people most drummers get thrown off on. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. It's a bar of 5/4. The time signature changes, so an extra beat has been added to the bar from 4/4 to 5/4. So that's why it's quite quirky. It comes in, the main groove, that really fast comes in on beat 2, technically, if you were to count it in 4/4 of the next bar. Except it probably doesn't make sense. So the best way to write it, the best way to think about it, so that when you come in with the main groove, it starts on beat 1, or you counted it as 1, is to play the last bar of the solo as a bar of 5/4, as in it has another beat added to it, which is why it's quite quirky, as I said. So that bar of 5/4, 5 beats in it. Beat 1 is rested. Beat 2 is 2 and right, right, left, 2 and. Beat 3 is 3 and right, left. Beat 4 is 4E and right, left, right. And then beat 5 is 5 and right, right, left. Oh, sorry, left, right, left. So I got the hands wrong there. I was using my standard way of playing them, but of course at this super speed, your hands find a different way of playing it. So the hands actually go starting on beat 2 at that 5/4 bar. Right, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. It just happens to flow very easy between the two hands if you do it that way. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and up. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and up. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and up. So we have to play it a little bit faster now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Oh, I get my hands confused. Excuse me for sniffing there. It makes much more sense when you speed it up. It's kind of like a hurter idea. Dave Grohl loves to do these hurters, this kind of stuff. There's that a lot in some of his songs. No One Knows, for example, that drum solo section. That wicked drum fill solo bit he does there. That's called a hurter. And it's kind of what's going on here. It's just played through 16th notes rather than triplets. So moving across the beat, it sounds awesome. Just works so well and plays with the ears beautifully. So let me play those last few bars. We can obviously ignore the rested bar. Starting so on bar 2 now. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and up. A bit faster now. I'll cut myself in. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and up. And you just got to get it up to speed. And of course, at the end of it, you go right, left into the first bar beat of the next bar, which is crash cymbal and beat 1, like that. So you get and a 1, or 5 and a 1 at the very end. Okay, so hopefully that made sense to you. I'm trying to explain something relatively complicated using words. As I said, it's far easier if you have the notation in front of you and follow that along with what I'm saying. Hopefully you'll find that a lot easier anyway. So there's not really a lot of crazy notes going on in there. It's just quite fast and syncopated. So beat 1 is missed off a lot of ands are played and emphasized. So hopefully you found that useful. Hopefully you'll have fun having a go at it. I certainly did learning it for this video. And I'll see you next time.